Hello, love. Welcome. Welcome back, family. Sending you so much love right across Momma Gaia. Thank you for being here. If this video message has found you and you have found it, know that there is something here for you. That is always the intention that I put into these messages. This is going to be a continuation of a previous message coming through on behalf of Archangel Raphael, the Green Dragon, the Green Fairy, the Green Ray, which for the last few days, the timely aspect of this message has been coming through quite a lot and very synchronistically. Not just personally for me, but as a kind of collective energy as well, and a collective message. Now, in the previous video, I touched upon a few different things. And one of the things that Archangel Raphael wants to continue to talk about here has to do with the empath journey, what he refers to as the alchemical fire, which is an energy that he is very familiar with, that he himself embodies as an energy, all in connection with what he's referring to as the Aries train. The Aries train. Now, I'm just going to open up in front of me. At the recording of this message, it is currently April 16th, 2026, Earth date. It is a Thursday, and it is 1748 currently, Eastern European time where I am, as I look at this particular energy, that we are currently in this Aries train. Okay, we've got 6 planets in Aries, and Chiron in Aries as well. So 7 being a significant number. 7 cosmic bodies is how he's referring to it as, okay? From our perspective here on Earth, it's really important that I emphasize that, because astrology in this respect, we're looking at it from the perspective of being on Earth and having a human experience here on Momma Gaia. We are currently in a very amped up, magnified Aries energy. And when I recorded the previous message yesterday, I hadn't tapped into this. Like, I wasn't paying attention to this. And it wasn't until after that, and I'm going to give a shout out to Amanda Ellis for this, because I came across a video of hers, which synchronistically tied into this, talking about this Aries energy. And when I sat down today to review the previous video so that I could post it tonight, Archangel Raphael was guiding me to this energy, and the fact that the green ray is so palpable right now because of what's going on with this Aries train. Now, I have always associated Archangel Raphael more than anything, if we look at it elementally, with the element of fire. I know not every tradition, spiritual teaching correlates with that. He is often connected with the element of air or the element of water even sometimes, okay? Now, he has always come through as a fire energy for me, because he is alchemical, and it resonates a lot for me when I see depictions of him as the angel in the Lover's card in the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. He feels fiery to me. And in the teachings of the occult Christ, he is the archangel associated with the vernal equinox or the spring equinox, okay, which is associated again with fire and the sign of Aries. So he was showing this to me today, all kind of coming together. And it was just another confirmation for me of how I've always associated him with the element of fire. Now, fire is dynamic, and we've always understood the elements. He's showing me like in 2-dimensional blocks, 3-dimensional blocks, but the elements themselves are very multifaceted. This is what's sort of crazy, right? So while we would traditionally associate, and I've got an image here this is from the Llewellyn astrological calendar, I think from 2022, 2021, I'm not sure. I'd have to double check, but anyway. We traditionally associate, this is the energy of Aries here, and the energy, of course, of fire, with this kind of energy. And this is true, right? This is an aspect of what Aries and fire represents. And as I'm holding this up right now, I'm hearing piercing through the veil. What I'm getting with this Aries train energy, and this is where I'm going to kind of bring it all together, because there's so much that we could go into individually, astrologically, about these planets, these celestial cosmic bodies. And very, very quickly here, I'm going to name off each and every one of them. Mercury and Neptune, currently conjunct. It looks like they're almost doing, no, they're not doing a cazimi, but they're currently at 2 degrees, which I think is really interesting because 2 degrees, 2 is the number of relationship. We've got Mercury, Neptune, Mars, Saturn, the Moon, the Sun, and Chiron, all currently in Aries. And what he is giving me with this is a very strong, pioneering quality at work here. And if I'm not mistaken, where's the North Node? The North Node is still in Pisces. So this is really fascinating because he's showing me again the energy of biophotons. I'm seeing light, the energy of the sun, which again, connected with fire, right? Hitting water, biophotons, and light codes, and the energy of our DNA being activated. Specifically, I'm hearing heart consciousness activation, and this is very specific to empaths. So what was interesting was in that Amanda Ellis video that I came across, I didn't watch all of it. I think it's the most recent one that she posted. One of the things that she was discussing was some of the fear-mongering, apparently, which I have not been privy to, and it was only through this video that I was like, oh, is that actually happening? The fear-mongering around this Aries energy being combative, having to do with war, the energy of war, okay? But I also want to remind each and every one of us, and I thought of it while I was watching her video, that the energy of Mars, the energy of Aries in ancient Greek mythology, is the energy of the lover. It's the energy of the dancer. It's the energy of what I'm hearing, thank you, Archangel Raphael. It's the energy of, in a way, we go to battle with ourselves in order to find the peace that is within. In some ancient traditions, it was actually Venus that ruled over war and peace. And he's going back to something that he brought through with regard to Hermes now, and Aphrodite and hermaphrodite, and this energy of masculine and feminine coming together. Mars also represents that, represents the masculine. Aphrodite, Venus representing the feminine. Okay. Where is Venus right now? I just want to double check because, again, I'm not on top of this stuff. Like, I'm not, only if it's relevant to some of the messages will it come up, right? She's in Taurus right now. So she's in her domicile, right? She's in the energy of, again, and that could be another reason why this green ray keeps on coming through. There is a very dynamic connection between the archetypes and the energies of Venus, Mars, and Mercury. But we're not going to get to that in that video. That's going to come up in another time. What Archangel Raphael really wants to emphasize for this message, as we move through these Aries energies, the 7 cosmic bodies. And what's interesting is when you look at it astrologically, it starts with Mercury and it ends with Chiron. Chiron, the hands, healing. Now, I'm hearing the wounds leading the way to healing, right? So when you look at it, it almost looks like a little train. And Chiron is in those final degrees of Aries. So it almost kind of looks like Chiron's leading the way. Depending on how you're looking at it, really is what he's saying to me. But I'm showing that there is some kind of healing going on as well in the mental body, in understanding much more deeply. This is so specific to empaths. The healing energy and the transmutation of energy, of emotion that we hold in our bodies or that we see reflected back to us in our interactions and our relationships, and really fully embodying and stepping into our sovereignty and this alchemical energy of the emotional athlete in a way, right? Okay. So what this Aries train is doing, very specifically for empaths, is it's leading the way to tremendous alchemical integration and growth, so that we are stepping more and more into our own decisiveness and making choices to right relationship. And on that note, I'm just going to get into the notes and what he showed me. Okay. Yeah. So I was working with, funny enough, I just want to also kind of preamble here that I had done a recording for this that didn't record on my computer. I thought it was recording. It looked like it was recording. And this is a lot of kind of what the energy is right now. Sometimes when we have a lot of Aries energy, we can almost feel like we're wanting to get stuff done and wanting to get things done more quickly. And that was something that came through in the previous message. But we also have to understand that there is a balance that's needing to be taken place, right? When it comes to rushing into things too much. And this is where it's really, really integral that we are coming from a place of being really grounded and rooted in our energy and in our sovereignty as empaths, so that we're making the right choices, that we're making the right decisions based on right relationship. Because he's like, this is the only way forward now. Every decision when it comes to relationships, moving forward as an empath and an empathic soul, I'm also hearing empathic starseed, lightworker. Every decision moving forward needs to be in right relationship with the soul and what he brought through last time, heart-centered consciousness. So I was working with the Green Witch Tarot. Just going to show you the box here. Of course, I link these all the time in the description box below. Working with this green ray energy and working with the emerald, this raw piece of emerald. And he was reminding me that emerald is also a really great crystal and frequency to work with. It's connected to the heart, but it's also connected to making discerning decisions with intuition, with a combination of insight, logic, all of the above. Going back to this number 7, really coming through with these 7 cosmic bodies. 7 is the number of balancing the intellect, the mind with the intuition, with the heart. Okay? I'm also hearing with that your gut. For some of us, it's our gut. It's our instincts. Which brings me now to the card that popped out while I was shuffling the Green Witch Tarot. Nature came out, number 15. Now, this particular card, can you see that? There we go. Now, 15 traditionally in the tarot is the Devil card. But what I love about the Green Witch Tarot is that it is very earth magic based, very earth cyclical based, and nature here in this particular deck has to do with decisions. It has to do with choices. And I'm going to read to you specifically the excerpt that I made notes on from the book. Okay? So Archangel Raphael was showing this nature card to me with regard to empaths and making right decisions in alignment with right relationship. Okay? Now, specifically, the line that he wanted me to pull out here was taking on undesired burdens. I took this straight from the guidebook from this particular card. So this is about being discerning with taking on undesired burdens. And then at the bottom of that, right underneath, I wrote choice. Choice. Okay? The divine in nature offers harmony in living a natural life, enjoying the material aspects as well as the spiritual, and regaining control over one's life and laughing at the tripping vines. This laughing at the tripping vines was specifically a nod to all the perceived blunders or things that kind of go wonky, like me recording an entire message thinking it was recording and it wasn't. But that there is something in that that is reflecting right relationship. For some reason, those particular message or that energy, whatever it was not meant to actually be recorded. It was for me to sort of integrate and take in that information. So while there is a lot of inner work going on right now, and I just saw 1717 on the counter, which is the star card energy, and the number 8, which has to do with this strength and the self, right? We also need to know that that is inadvertently going to be reflected out into the reality, our outer reality. Now, this is about allowing, I'm just reading off of the notes now, allowing the natural course to flow. It's also about freedom, choosing what appeals, and specifically what is in right relationship is what Archangel Raphael is saying to me, and the choice of restriction or freedom. The choice of restriction or freedom. What's interesting in this card is that this trapper is setting a bear trap and the bear sees it. And it seems like this trapper is completely oblivious to what's going on behind him. So this is another energy of discernment, awareness, instinct in the intuitive sense, and how a lot of that can also sit in the in-between before we actually make that decision, because the Three of Wands was at the bottom of the deck. I love this interpretation of the Three of Wands because you don't know whether this person is coming or going. Have they just arrived or are they packing up and leaving? 3 is the energy of creation. It's the energy of the Empress in the tarot, right? It's also the energy of the Hanged Man. It's this energy of the World card. It's this energy of, again, potential, creation, and how that can take on many different forms. It can be like the Empress sitting and receiving, waiting, magnetizing. It could be like the energy of the Hanged Man, seeing things from a different perspective, taking a pause. It can be the energy of the world. It can be about 1919 on the counter as I say that. It can be about bringing closure to something, restriction to something, so you can move on in a different direction. So you can then make a healthier choice with regard to right relationship. Okay? So I'm just taking a look at my notes there. 19, that is the energy of the sun. And the sun card, it all comes back to the light within. One of the cards that had popped out in that previous message that was not recorded was the Ace of Wands, along with the Six of Pentacles. And we had the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. So this is about, again, the energy of being discerning as to where you are giving your time and energy. To what and where are you giving your time and energy to? And right now, there is a very palpable shift going on in terms of being decisive with regard to where you are doing that. Remember that the energy of Aries is the energy of the self, of I am in astrology, okay? And it is the energy of decisiveness when we correspond that or relate that to Libra, which is connected to the energy of other, which is its opposite, right? The energy, again, of Venus. So we've got this Mars-Venus kind of axis thing going on. When we have so much energy in this one particular sign, what that is showing me is that there's some kind of balancing that needs to take place with regard to, in this particular situation, what is right for us in relationship and what isn't. And being very decisive, being comfortable enough to sit in that in-between space to really feel into this. Really feel into what is in right relationship with you right now. Calling upon the energy of Archangel Raphael at this time is incredibly supportive with regard to this, as well as working with the crystal energies of emerald or any other green heart-connected crystal in order for each and every one of us to be really heart-centered in making this decision. Now, I'm going to end on this note, which is heart-centered again does not mean just how you feel emotionally. This is going to be the next thing that we're going to jump into in the next video, okay? But remember that the heart-centered consciousness that we are talking about is almost like taking this sort of third perspective of things and looking at it from a much more discerning eye. And he's directing me back to the Six of Pentacles in this particular deck. As I'm speaking here, I'm going to look for it and see. I'm going to bring it out because he wants me to kind of show the imagery here. There's something activating in that energy. But the big thing behind this particular energy and card, very similar to the traditional understanding of the Six of Pentacles, is being discerning about who you're giving to and what, and whether that is being appreciated or not. And we are always giving from a cup that is full, and a kind of return on value or return on investment. Notice how this man is hiding what he's trading here, part of it behind his back. And then there's a woodpecker here, which represents hard work, value in work, okay? Everybody being able to give something and everybody being able to receive something dependent on what they are able to, okay? This man, he's showing me this man is right in doing that if it is right for him, right? He's still giving, but he's holding something for himself. And it's this energy of being, again, in energetic alignment, not just with you, but with everything that you are doing, with everyone that you are interacting with, okay? I'm going to leave this message on that note. And we're going to continue this as we move forward through this series. Moving forward in terms of how to be more discerning with these choices, especially during this time energetically. Thank you, Archangel Raphael. Thank you to this beautiful green ray energy coming through the green dragon, the green fairy. I thank you for sharing your time and your energy with us in this space. And I'm sending you so much love wherever you are here on beautiful Momma Gaia. In love and liberation, always.